Hello my fellow kin, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a very special video, an unexpected video at that. I was initially planning on releasing a unit analysis video today, but something more important has taken precedence, something more important than a unit analysis video. But what could that be? Well, we have just received, at long last, a new Votann unit. Yes, I could not believe my eyes. It was revealed last night at the Adepticon reveal livestream, and I could not be happier. A model request that has been made since the Votann range was first announced. At long last, we have them. We have pioneers on foot, and they look stunning. So these guys apparently are called the Hernkin Jaeger, and the Jaeger are going to be our foot options for the Pioneer squad. Now, in the video, this is for Kill Team, the official release, but historically, we always get the Kill Team models available to play with in 40k. So I am not worried at all about the transition happening. It most recently happened with the Space Marine Scouts, and we'll get to see it happen again with these units here. What is interesting, however, is deciphering among this beautiful picture of lovely Votann and Ironkin, what loadouts are going to actually be compatible with 40k and which ones are going to be simply an extension sprue to use in Kill Team. If I had to guess, I think that because Kill Team is more of a specialist game, I really think we're going to only see special weapons inside of the Kill Team domain. So no snipers, no rocket launchers. And when we bring them over to 40k, I think we're going to be looking at one of two things. I think we're either going to get 2 squads of 5 or 1 squad of 10, which could be combat squatted at the beginning of the game. And I think we're going to be able to only run shotguns in the unit. And maybe the Thane of the unit is going to be able to bring a pistol, like we see here with the bottom left model. Now, I have to say, I don't know about you guys, but if that's the case, I'm still going to kit these guys out with exactly what you see here on the screen because it is badass. Particularly, I love the Spec Ops guy in the middle with the crossbow and the throwing axe and the goggles on, the night vision goggles that you see on the Thunderkin. Absolutely love the aesthetic that this model has going on. It's beautiful. It fits the theme nicely. Now, the other models look a little bit interesting. I think the guy with the landmines in his hand who's carrying 3 shovels on his back is also pretty badass. I would love to have something like this on the table for my army. And I'm just trying to picture these guys in my Dark Iron Votann scheme. And I'm getting really excited because I think I'm going to have to change it up a little bit when we look at that orange that pops, or else the models will be slightly too dark. In my scheme anyway. But I am so excited to see what people get to do with this. There are a ton of beautiful schemes out there for Votann, and you can see them all inside of our Discord community channel. Link in the description below. But yes, alas, I am very happy with how these models look, and it seems like the reception is generally exceptionally positive. Everybody's happy about this. It's what people have wanted for so long, and we finally have it. I think the shotguns are really nice, but if they go off anything like their stat line in 40k currently for the Pioneers on bikes, I think the shotguns are going to be a little bit underwhelming. I would personally love to see if they bake a rule into this where, depending on your range away from whichever target you're trying to shoot, maybe you get to do extra damage or you have extra AP or some combination of the two, similar to what we saw in the index for Breacher squads in the Tau army. I think that would fit the shotgun theme a little bit better than what the current rules are because they do feel slightly underwhelming on the table when I'm running them on my bikes. All that said, I don't think we're going to be running these guys for the damage. And why is that? Because they finally provide us with a keyword that we desperately needed and wanted and craved. And that is the ability to infiltrate. Yes, we can finally infiltrate a unit. Now for Kill Team, that is their theme. That is their rule. I can say with 99% confidence that we are going to also be able to infiltrate these guys when they migrate over to 40k with the rules. Why is that? Because it just makes sense. Look at them thematically. Look at the narrative that you're telling with these models. As the caster expressed yesterday in the reveal, that these represent an elite group within anybody's kin for their dwarves and their Leagues of Votann, where they usually scout ahead of the army and do some subterfuge and infiltrate, plant bombs, and take care of whatever enemy units are there before the rest of your forces arrive to the battlefield and clean things up. So I think if they take that narrative and they translate it over to 40k, the best way to do that is to have these guys infiltrate. So you would be able to set them up across the table. Now, I think it's interesting that they come in a box of 10. It's not too dissimilar from what we see with the Primaris Infiltrator squad, who comes in a box of 10 as well, but you're able to run them as units of 5. Now, I wonder if they're going to try to change things up with the Jaeger squad, and instead of having them 2 squads of 5, maybe you have to take a squad of 10 infiltrators. I'm not a big fan of that. I think they'd be better if they have a smaller footprint, but this is all speculation at this point. I'm just really excited to pick these guys up. They also mentioned that as one of the abilities, you're going to be able to plant mines across the table. I feel like usually when Games Workshop comes out with a rule like this, it is exceptionally underwhelming every single time. So I have very low expectations as to this working out to be anything significant inside of 40k. Maybe in Kill Team it'll be fine, but I'm not sure about 40k if that's going to work too well. Who knows, maybe it won't even be an option. But you know what? I don't think that matters. I'm still going to build these guys with all their cool accessories, all their cool helmets, and their cool weapon choices, and just run them as shotguns if I have to, because the diversity that we see here in terms of modeling, in terms of poses and stances, is just really, really cool. This is something we needed for the army. I think people were getting a little bit tired of having the same aesthetic across the board for most of their units, because we've only had so few units to play with for so long. And I think these help shake things up while still keeping a uniform theme with the army and not standing out like too much of a sore thumb, especially if you're going to be including some Pioneer bikes anyway. So how do you get this box? Well, inside of the reveal trailer, it looked like this is part of a Kill Team box, which is for a different game mode. And unfortunately for us, I think that it's going to start with the launch as being one big box that contains the terrain and contains the units. Now, I do know that in the past, they've gone with separate releases at start. So you could pick up boxes that just have the dwarves inside or boxes that just have the terrain separately. And I'm really hoping they go down that avenue for just having one box that contains the 10 guys. You pick it up for Kill Team, you get that extra sprue, you put it to the side, you just build these guys with the shotguns, and then you can run them in 40k. That is my big hope. I do think that's what's going to happen. It seems to be that the trend has shifted towards that design philosophy. So I'm excited to get my hands on this as soon as we learn a little bit more about the release date, because there has not been anything confirmed as of yet. All that said, I am super excited to get my hands on these models and paint them up. I really, like I said, absolutely love the guy in the middle with the goggles and the throwing axe and crossbow. I think he looks the coolest out of the bunch, and maybe even the little Ironkin in the top right corner. If I could build a couple of these guys with the Ironkin heads, I think they'd look really stand out and cool. What do you guys think about the models? How do you find their loadouts? Are you excited to get your hands on these? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. This was a quick one. I'll have the unit analysis video coming out tomorrow for a separate unit, one that we're all too familiar with. But until then, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.